Well, welcome to the Not 100% Degenerates Podcast. I guess we're going to be doing introductions first. And why are we doing the podcast? Everybody take turns. Take turns, like an Alcoholics Anonymous.
It is me, Raul Singh of the Uchiha clan. Today I am here to tell you about my science project. I have made a compass. Hello, everybody.
Epic introduction times. Mr. Boomberg,
Okay.
perhaps you wish to top that.
Damn, my identity has been revealed. My name is Irfan Bombag, and I'm here to steal your Sharingan. Give it back. Give me your Sharingan.
Why are you taking it back? If you want to steal it, you want to just give it back. It's like
because
a 5-year-old.
I invented it, obviously. I am Mr. Rikudo Senin. That is me.
No, you are Sharingan man.
I'm Sharingan man.
Hello, Sharingan
I'm just
man.
Danzo. I'm just Danzo with like 50 Sharingans all over my body.
Oh my god, disgusting eye man. Hello, Mr. Eye man. Okay.
Yes, that is
So-
my name now. Okay.
So, well, this is gonna be the first podcast. Doubt it's gonna be very successful after that introduction, but hey, I am the Shiroyasha. We have Chills a lot over here and Mr. Irfan Boomberg, who is the Eye. For whatever reason, he's the Eye.
Listen, there's
I
a very, very bad backstory behind it. It's very traumatic.
I feel like it just has to do with the fact that your first name starts with an I. And then you're
It
like,
does.
the
It
Eye.
does. It does actually. It
That's
does
literally
actually.
that's literally the
And-
whole anime flashback is just like once I had an
Yes.
eye in my name. So I put
But it's
the
also
eye.
it's also because whenever you kill someone in a game, it'll show up as the eye has killed you. It's just
See.
one eye. See, it's big
Ah.
brain. You wouldn't understand. Okay.
Just call yourself Mr. Sharingans. Just call yourself Mr. Sharingan,
Mr.
man.
Sharingans.
Okay, so yeah, basically. Okay, anyway, okay, well, we did introduce each other already, so why don't we start with why we're doing the podcast and basically who we are to each other? Because I don't think we're all just three random ass. I mean, we could be. It's 2020.
I mean, we could be.
we really could be, but
We all just
yeah.
met on some sketchy black market website.
I mean, let's all be honest. We just met on Tinder. We were just out here like looking for podcast buddies, and then Tinder was just like, "Hey, I got you, fam."
Bruh.
It was just a Craigslist ad. We just found each other on
Bruh.
Craigslist.
No, the man who brought us all together, his name is Craig.
Craig.
My man.
My man.
Oh
Craig.
shit!
My man,
It's
Craig.
actually Craig. Hi,
You
Craig.
can't see
Yes.
Craig, but Craig's in here with us.
Craig is
Yeah.
actually in here. Craig is the man.
He is, yeah. He's the overseer.
Okay, well, so since we went off there, basically why we started the podcast was just for no particular reason. We like podcasts. We like talking about anime and stupid shit.
And I have very bad opinions.
And yes, we have very bad opinions about things that no one cares about, but we will share them anyway. There should be 4 of us, but yeah, there should be 4 of
I mean,
us, but
Craig's
one.
here.
I mean, other than Craig, there's one man that is missing. Perhaps he will guest one day. One day.
We'll put Craig up on the screen so you can see him.
Definitely.
We should, whenever we bring in Craig, we should just like have a little thing that pops up.
Yeah.
I kind of want Craig to be our logo.
I kind of think we can't do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
probably not.
Epic times.
Ah,
2020.
Legal issues.
2020, boys. Okay, well. So yeah, that's the idea behind the Not 100% Degenerates podcast. It's just 3 degenerates and Craig talking about stuff that no one actually cares about.
Craig
So-
is the least degenerate one here, and he can't even speak.
No, Craig is the most degenerate one, yeah.
I mean, he's just always watching.
Just
Constantly.
look into Craig's eyes and tell me he's not absolutely out of his mind. Just look at
Listen,
Craig's eyes.
Craig has
That man
beautiful
is
eyes.
faded.
Craig has.
You know what's even funnier? If like this goes out to like Spotify and like only audio stuff, no one will ever know who Craig is.
Oh yeah.
Because they'll never be able to see him.
Are we gonna pull like a Davy? If we
Oh,
just pull a Davy, 1 million followers, and we will do Craig reveal. 1 million followers, and we'll get Craig reveal.
Craig reveal at 1 subscriber.
1 subscriber Craig reveal.
Listen, 1 subscriber is a lot, but I think we can do it.
1.5 subscribers, right? We make an average.
We're kind of going off on like a long ass tangent of like we didn't even get to the how we met or who we are part. Like we still an introduction to podcast. Okay, but
Okay, wait, hold on. Editor's note: delete anything that isn't about Craig. Okay, continue.
Yes. Bro, if there's more than
Nice.
like a couple episodes and this like pops up, then we just have an entire podcast of just
about Craig.
Craig.
It's just Craig.
The Craig podcast.
Can we please call the podcast Craig?
No, we're not calling the podcast Craig. No, it can be like not 100% degenerates plus Craig. We'll just call it just plus Craig. We'll just put Craig in there. So me, Shiroyasha, and Black Demon or Chills a Lot, whichever you prefer. We, yeah, Chills a Lot and myself, we were in high school together, and I don't know if you remember. Well, there are 3 of us, like in general, but the other guy is busy with he's currently busy with exams and stuff, so he'll probably guest on here one day. But I don't know if the 2 of them, Chills a Lot and the other guy, they were friends first, and then in grade 8 or 8th grade, however they refer to it, I popped in there, and I don't even think Sushil remembers this, but he made a really stupid joke to me, and that's how like we met, because we were in an English class, and Sushil passed me a freaking note that said brainstorm, that had a brain with rain on it.
Yes.
And for some reason, that seemed so freaking hilarious to him. And then he passed it on to me, and I was like, oh shit, this is so stupid, but it's funny. And that's how that's how we met. And then I guess from there we started
I think
hanging out, I
you
guess.
you and me know each other for like 7 years, and me and Sushil know each other for like 13 years.
Yeah, possibly. I think it's around 8 years now. It should be that. The three
Yeah,
of us
8 years.
Yeah. So yeah, we've known each other for a very long time.
And then there's this other man. I don't know
This
how he
other
got
man,
into
yes.
who, I do not know who this man is. He is a stranger to us. Okay, maybe you want to tell them how you met us, Mr. Sharingan man.
I don't have a body at all. I'm just a floating eye wall. That's how I got my name. If anyone's wondering, right? So on one summer morning, I woke
Oh
up
boy.
and it was the day of an expo. The expo, known as Rage. Probably
I
other
think
people don't
perhaps
know.
we
It should
started
have
on how
been
you
South
met me.
Africa.
Bro, maybe
Yeah.
tell them how you met Chills a
Oh.
Lot first.
Oh yeah, I did know this man before. Okay, so somehow, some magical way, matriculated somehow. I don't even know, right? And then decided, listen, I like making things. I'm gonna become a designer. And then I went and I applied at a design college. Insane. So then
Insane.
It
Mad
was-
please.
in that place, such large brain within an eyeball, right? And then got to like first day after orientation and everything. The first day it happened. You gotta choose where you're gonna sit, and this is big decisions. Not really, since they changed the classroom. It's often for absolutely no reason. But I decided to sit next to this man who was drawing something. What was he drawing? You'll find out now. So then I sat down, put my bag on the side of me, looked over and said, hello, what are you drawing? And this man, can you even guess what he was drawing? Obviously, as you do, you're drawing hentai. That's just how it works. And I'm like, bruh, this is a man of culture. I like this man. and that's how it happened. Ever since then, we have caused mischief, always, constantly. That happened last year. Yes, first year,
Yes.
last year. And we have caused many problems. Probably we'll go into it in a future episode. And then afterwards, how I met my man Shiroyasha from obviously the expo that I went to.
Yes, the
was
expo.
D1, that one expo.
D1. It is the one expo titled Rage, because I'm angry. Planned to go with the man Chills a lot, and then got there, saw 2 other people sitting with him, and some female. We'll get into the female later.
Oh, we'll get into the female
That
later.
sounds weird.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
So,
That will not be a thing that is happening.
because I live on the other side of the planet, I arrived a little bit late, so I met the people at a McDonald's, and the first looking at them seemed like pretty chill guys, you know. I thought maybe kind of nerdy, you know, wearing glasses. That comes from someone also wearing glasses.
This coming from a man who came in with like the dad coat. You had like that weird
Listen,
beige coat, and you were like, hey.
We planned to kind of dress like epic Naruto characters, kind of. Then it just got hot. Okay.
Yeah, it's got on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I met, as previously mentioned, Sushil and Mr. Shiroyasha. And from then, we just clicked, bro. Clicked. It was like a whole Tinder first meeting.
It was like, yeah, like a whole Tinder right swipe kind of
right
situation. right
Except
swipe
the
kind of
swipe
situation.
was actually just me just slapping you. That was the whole swipe, just pop. Yeah.
But it's funny, like in context about that convention, it's like the only convention for like anime and gaming in our area. It's not even in our area, it's like a 45-minute drive. But
Yeah.
we myself, Chills a lot, and Sushil, the other guy, we made it sort of like this weird unofficial tradition thing that we went there every single year since I think, what was it, 2011?
Yeah, maybe no, not 2011.
2012,
13.
somewhere there.
I think 13.
Yeah, okay, well, at some point during that time, we went every year, and yeah, then one day he was like, "Hey, let me bring a man's. There's a new man's who would like to partake in the rage," and then he brought Mr. Sharingans,
Mr. Sharingan.
Mr. Sharingans, and a certain very tall person who we will get into a bit later, because
yes.
that's a whole other topic. But yeah.
Bro.
And then we met, and then it's yes, mischief has happened since then. And then we ended up playing D&D together and all of that stuff. But that's also something for maybe later episodes. So that's how we basically met, and you'll see like anime played a big part in how we actually got to know each other and stuff. So we'll get into that next. But should we like start it off again, like from the third topic, or should you just keep going?
Yeah, just keep on.
Okay, so more context into like how we met and stuff. So, or how we got into anime rather. What is it, like the second day of grade 8 or something, or the third day of grade 8? Like when we met, like the thing I was doing was I was tracing a picture of Trunks, and then I saw that you were also drawing some DBZ character, and then we were talking about that stuff. And my grade 9 speech was about anime. Do you remember that?
It was my grade 9 speech.
Or wasn't it both of our grade 9 speeches?
I don't think so. I think it was just mine.
No, I'm pretty sure mine was also an anime or something, because then that's when we met Tasneem. And that's when Tasneem started talking to us. But okay, let's get into that a bit later. First, let's talk about how we got into anime. Okay, what was the first anime you guys watched? Like before you even knew it was anime?
I mean DBZ. Actually, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder which one came first, like Yu-Gi-Oh or DBZ for me. I don't even recall which one came first.
I'm pretty sure Yu-Gi-Oh aired before DBZ aired on SABC 2.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh was like at 4:30, and then like Dragon Ball Z was at 5, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh came first in airing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. For me, it was definitely DBZ first. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much how all weebs start. We all start in
Yeah.
the Toonami, SABC2, Mnet, freaking. Sometimes
Yeah.
Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network used to show Dragon Ball Z. That was a long time ago, but
Yeah.
the first anime I ever saw was probably something not suited for a 4 or 5-year-old. It was Devilman, like the old Devilman with all the violence and naked people and shit.
What?
And how that happened was there was a video, like a DVD shop, a video store close to where I lived, and we would go there to get these really shitty quality movies, as you do from those kinds of stores. And they used to sell this 50-in-1 like cartoon movies, but like it was like super scammy because it was like Lion King part 1, part 2, and part 3, but it was all one movie. But there was Aladdin. I think it was labeled Aladdin or something. But then when I put it on, it was Devilman, and I think it was Devilman the Demon Bird. And I was watching it in the lounge with my mother, and then we were like,
Oh.
wait a minute, what is happening here? And I specifically remember the scene where she like put it off and said we should go return it. There's a scene where he's fighting this human face turtle thing, and like the turtle makes like a naked, like there's just boobs on the turtle, and it's the most weird shit ever. And he like punches the boobs and like rips it off. And then my mother was like Aladdin, I don't think this is Aladdin. And then we just took it back, and then I was like, well, what have I just witnessed? And then afterwards, that was
It
my
just
first
scarred you for
exposure to
life.
like anime, and then like it pretty much scarred me for life. But funnily enough, Devilman is like one of my favorite anime like till this day. So that's how I got into it. And then obviously the Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if you guys remember Hamtaro, but yeah, all of that shit. Yeah, Hamtaro was like, yeah. Mr. Boomberg, do you know Hamtaro?
Nah, I actually don't.
Disgusting.
Compared to you guys,
Uncultured, man.
I've seen much less amounts of anime. Yes,
M&A.
the anime.
I think it was grade 9. We had books like, we were such weebs, bro. We had books like listing all of the anime we watched, and like once we hit 100, we stopped recording because there was too much. I have mine somewhere, but once we hit like after we watched 100 anime, we just like stopped counting. And then because I think you and me figured out, we counted it. We came over to,
I think that was like
5,000
every
hours
weeb's
anime.
like yeah. That was every weeb's thing. Was that like
Yeah.
we? It was like a book version of my anime list. And we used to just make up our own synopsis for like stupid shit.
Yeah.
Our Exorcist
Mhm.
was I think it was something like Satan's son is very angry and tries to find Satan, and that was my synopsis. And then I would print out like really shitty pictures from Google and like stick them in the book. Oh, disgusting times. I still have
Yeah.
that book somewhere.
I think for like me and
But
you,
that's
at least, like when we like started watching anime like much more is when we were both in grade 9, and I think maybe both of us had a speech about anime, and then like after class, our teacher, she called us over and she was like, "Oh, you guys watch anime?" And we were like, "Yeah." Like we kind of know what it is. And she was like, "Oh, my husband watches anime." And then eventually we became really good friends with her, and she was like, "If you want anime, just give me a hard drive." So then I went out like that day and I bought a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Bruh,
And I
I
gave it-
remember that, yeah. And then she gave it back to us with like a shitload of anime on it.
And
Like,
there was
that's-
this one anime specifically that I think we all remember called Freezing.
Oh,
Good old
Oh.
Freezing.
good old
So we-
freezing.
At this point, like ecchi and hentai was not a thing to us. I don't think as of yet.
No,
So,
no,
like,
no.
When this like we got like anime from this grown man. And we were like, oh, all this epic fighting time. And then we found freezing. And you know what freezing is?
bro.
I don't really remember what freezing is, but there's a lot of
No,
like
no.
half naked
So-
women in it.
No, so freezing. I don't think Mr. Sharingans has watched freezing, but that's like
Nah,
early 2000s anime etchy
Yeah.
shit. But
bruh.
it had such a
Oh.
stupid premise because it was like, oh, they are alien people, but like these girls have
It was like Darling in the
alien
Franxx.
marks on them. Yeah, it was like Darling in the Franxx, but shittier. So
Yeah.
The alien girls had to get like naked, and then all of this armor would like materialize on them. And I still remember the main character's name was Satellizer, because that's a name.
And
And
they
then-
had to have like controllers who were dudes, but like the dudes were always like less. It was like shorter and like skinnier than them always.
They were basically simping. It was just a simp anime. That's what it was.
The main girl, her name was, they called her the Ice Queen because
Yeah, because no one could touch her. So basically, I think our memories are a bit fuzzy on what the plot was, but that was basically it. It was just a shitty. And now that you think about it, now that we're like more experienced with anime and stuff, it was a pretty typical ecchi show, with a shitty plot and like randomly naked chicks. But that was our first exposure to like ecchi and stuff.
yeah.
But on that same hard drive was things like Bleach, and he gave us Toriko,
Toriko.
Fairy Tail. There's a whole lot of shows, and that was
Oh,
like
and, like,
how
my-
we started.
Fate Zero was on there, which is
Oh,
my
yes,
favorite
yes,
anime
yes.
of all time.
And then Fate Zero became his favorite anime and all of that stuff. So we had quite a lot of not our early years. We had like no exposure to anime, but high school is where it all started, where all the weebness
Yeah.
began. And then from there, I think we just freaking got addicted to it. There was like no question about it either. It
Yeah.
was like addiction, like immediately. And then from then
Now,
on,
Mr.
that's when
Boomberg, you tell us your story, Mr. Boomberg. I want to hear.
Oh, okay. So
I need to hear this.
Bruh, this is a very blunt story. Yeah, so after I watched DBZ, very very young age, I was convinced that was the best thing ever. So after that, it started with like I still have my my flip books to this day with me just drawing DBZ
Yes.
characters.
Oh, the
And-
file.
It's all the wild things. Like you'll find a random image on Google and it's like, yes, Super Saiyan 1000. I knew it. Obviously, Goku the
I
cheapest
remember
form.
those.
Um,
Oh shit.
It was very much a me and my cousin's thing, because I went through like the school I was in, just not. They were just like very generic people. Didn't watch anime. So like when I was small, I didn't even know what anime was. Saw this thing called Spider Riders. Barely watched the show. Because
Oh
what I mostly
shit.
did when I was small is me and my cousins just made things. So we just had a bunch of cardboard boxes, and we just decided to make like giant swords out of it. And like eventually watched Yu-Gi-Oh. Then we made the whole Jewel Blade thing. And then obviously we were one of the people who like hardcore played the game. Most of our cards were like fake, because we got them cheap.
As
But,
you
like,
do,
we
as
didn't
you do.
care. Like, oh, what, you have all 5 cards of Exodia? What? Crazy. And then after that, it didn't really happen a lot, like watching anime. I mean, I failed my one exam because I was busy watching Sword Art Online. That was a fun time. Right?
Nice. Epic
Yeah, 'cause
times.
it was like 4 in the morning, and what was I doing? I was studying while watching anime, because that works. That definitely works.
Always. That's a definite thing that works.
Exactly. And then I'm gonna be hated from this. I can already see comments, if anyone actually comments, that yes, I'm busy watching Naruto now, which is started Naruto big end of last year, and now I'm finishing Shippuden like now. In a couple next days I'll finish it. But like definitely better than DBZ. I can definitely say that.
I think like the funny thing about all of our like anime or weeb origin stories is that it just kind of happened. like with us, I don't remember a specific point where I transitioned from not weebness to like complete weeb, but it happened, and it happened quick. But like
that
I
happens
think,
quick.
yeah, the difference between like me in particular and Mr. Sharingans, I'm just gonna call him Mr. Sharingans because it's so much better. Is
One day I'll evolve.
yeah,
day.
my brother, my bigger brother, he was like the Pokemon nerd, like back in the day. Like he used to like win Pokemon like Tazos and stuff. For those people that don't know what Tazos are, it's those circle things. I think they're called Pogs in like America and stuff. I think they're called Pogs. Yeah, but he used to like win all of that stuff.
I just have a DBZ Tazo in my hand currently. Not even lying.
I have like a whole treasure chest of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
So-
the full collection of the DBZ ones.
I
Right
have
now I'm
the
holding
metal ones, right?
Shenron.
The
Yeah,
metallic
and they
ones.
click.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
ones
you
that
got the
click,
green
yeah.
clicker ones, the green clicker ones.
Bro,
But,
I have all of them. Like
yeah.
from number 1.
I've got the silvers, I've got the golds, the greens, and the originals. I've got all of them. They're in my treasure box. I'll show it to you one day. But yeah, that's it was kind of a generational thing because he showed me Pokemon, and then obviously my generation was the Dragon Ball Z thing. And just like in your school, our school was generic as hell. Like how
yeah.
we managed to find that lady who gave us an entire hard drive of anime was like a miracle.
Up until we graduated, our school was super boring. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
we had good times. I mean, we had good times.
we had good times.
But the people in our school weren't necessarily people that shared our interests. So basically, it was just
Yeah.
the three of us in school, like 24/7, just talking about, well, what we're talking about here. Like, but back then we had way more time to watch anime. Like, we were in the anime black hole phase. We could watch like 6 series in one day somehow, but it would just work.
Ah, yes. Good
Yeah.
times.
Good times,
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we all got into it. And yeah, so since we know like how you got into it, what would you say is your favorite, and what are you watching currently? Like your greatest of all time, the GOAT anime for you.
I'll go last because I feel like mine's transitions into the next topic.
Okay,
Oh,
fair enough.
okay.
Mr.
I
Sharingan.
basically said mine already. Because of nostalgia, I would say DBZ, but being like honest, it has to be Naruto. Because I haven't seen like as much. I still have to watch like this whole list that will happen eventually. But
just
currently
remind me to
watching
like
Naruto, and it's quite good. I very much
just
like.
remind me to like
Naruto.
give you my hard drive, because I'm still of the generation that downloads the damn anime instead of streaming. But yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
have like an entire terabyte and a half of downloaded anime from like back in the day. So I still have freezing and all of that stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah. But my hard drive crashed, I remember, like my original anime hard drive, and I cried. Like I legit cried. A grade 10 teenager, like in tears, because his goddamn anime hard drive broke. That's how hardcore it was. But yeah, I ended up fixing that thing and like running every single recovery program available, and then eventually it started working. But I remember I had that particular hard drive, like it was encased. I don't know if you remember, but like it was encased in like tape and polystyrene, and I had like a plastic cover over it and everything. And then it fell one day, and it's like stopped working, and I couldn't handle that, man. Like it was wild. It felt like all the time I spent downloading off like my BlackBerry with the free internet bundle, it was all for waste. But yeah, so I think my favorite would probably be, okay, well, for nostalgia purposes as well, I think everybody has a special place for DBZ. But let's be honest, it wasn't a good anime. It wasn't. Like it really wasn't. I wouldn't sit through the whole thing again. It's fun to watch, yeah.
Oh,
But
definitely not.
Now that we know,
You watch
like,
it
what
again for the
anime is.
fights. You watch it for the fights. The fights were epic. The Oh, the fella's not as epic, and like
Like
charging
the
up a sperm
entirety,
bomb, the meme.
the entirety
like-
of like, yeah. I'm just gonna say the entirety of Dragon Ball Z was just filler. Like if it wasn't a fight, it was filler. There was even filler in
Yeah.
the fights.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that I think like in terms of actual cultured anime, possibly No Game No Life, and yeah, because that one there just I think that was among one of the things that was on that hard drive that we first got was No Game No Life.
No. There was.
Was it not?
No. No Game No Life wasn't out yet. We watched it episode.
Oh
by episode, I think.
yeah. But yeah, that would possibly be my favorite, and we still out here waiting for season 2. We do just be out here.
The movie was fire, but it wasn't season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it, but Shiro is still waifu of like the century for me, even though she's technically like 5 years old.
Let's not talk about that.
I mean, it is. I mean, this is a degenerate podcast, so
Okay.
lollies. I mean, come on, but lollies are for a whole different day because, like, yeah. But yeah, so that would possibly be my favorite. Mr. Chills a lot. Yours?
Mine definitely Fate Zero. Fate Zero is so amazing. Fate Zero and I think Berserker, the old Berserker, not the new one. New one's trash. But the old ass Berserker was amazing. It's just
Yeah,
it's so,
Berserk
like,
was freaking great. Yeah.
grungy. It's a like Berserker as I remember it was like a fever dream and I loved it so much. In terms of like even nostalgia, I guess you could say like DBZ, but also Fairy Tail. Even though we were 12 for Fairy Tail, I think Fairy Tail marked like us watching anime because Sushil started watching Fairy Tail like independently, and so like
Yeah. That was the first thing he watched, but I actually didn't like Fairy Tail that much because I went into the Bleach. Like the first thing I watched religiously was Bleach.
The funny thing about Fairy Tail is, I guess I saw Fairy Tail hentai before I watched Fairy Tail. So when the first episode of Fairy Tail I watched, I was like, oh, this is a hentai, and then Sushil was like, no, you're wrong. Yeah, but I think now things that I'm watching currently is I watch things with like almost no plot because I watch things for the experience. So 2 things that like I watched recently was Baki, Devilman.
Oh
Devilman
my goodness.
Crybaby.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
god. Now that's
Okay.
Now this is
Whoa.
epic times because as someone who like absolutely loves Devilman Crybaby was actually really nice to me because of how they redid everything. But like you said, like sometimes it's just about the entertainment, and Netflix is like an entertainment machine. Like you don't even have to watch things for plots. Like
they just
Baki,
produce things.
like what is even Baki? Baki is just the most brain dead thing that you can possibly
Like
watch.
if you're like a weeb who's like listening to this podcast, I want you to like turn off your brain and go watch Baki or Devilman Crybaby. Just do
It's
it
the
for
most satisfying experience you'll ever have, especially with Baki.
there's no basic cliches per se that you would find in an anime that you like expect to see or a certain type of progression that you think is gonna happen because they don't need it. All of it's written to be epic, and all of the world rules and the physics and the relationships in the anime is
Are written to be epic, basically. So Mr. Sharingans hasn't watched Baki yet, but
Nah.
oh,
I've heard
oh
many
boy.
things about Baki.
me
Many
just tell
things
you.
I've heard.
Baki makes no sense.
Yeah.
Baki makes no damn sense, and
From what I've heard, it doesn't either.
it makes so little sense that it makes sense. That's how bad it is. It's like watching a car crash, but like you can't stop because it's like it's a car crash.
It's
like, what's-
adrenaline
what?
junkie.
Yeah,
Imagine the car crashed and then you go to check on the car and the car has no scratches, and then the car crashes. And then it just continuously happens. Like the car crashes, you don't see the damage, and then there's no damage. It happens
no, but
again.
then it happens again, and then out of the car comes one extremely muscular man who just starts like posing in front of you. That's what Baki is. It's
I'll put
the
like
most.
an image up of
Oh.
Baki's father's back. I'll put an image up of the
Bruh.
demon back.
I saw, and my man Biscuit,
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you.
His hands are so big.
Um,
For
the
what
funny thing
reason?
about Baki is they so blatantly rub off people, like real life people, like Buskett Oliver, that guy that you're talking about. He's based off Sergio Oliver, like the one man who beat Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Mr. Olympia, and they copied him
Oh.
down to his mustache and down to his fashion sense, but they just changed his name to Buskett, and they were like, yes, this is fine.
These anime that Netflix produced, they aren't originals per se. Yeah, Netflix made them, but like Baki was based off Baki the Grappler, and then Devilman Crybaby was based off Devilman.
Devilman,
So
yeah.
it's not like it's even original concepts. They take concepts that already existed and then burn it down to just like the epic parts, and then they just put that out.
But
And
to be
it's great.
perfectly honest, like in my opinion, the original Baki, like Baki the Grappler, it was mediocre at best. A lot of people liked it, but like it didn't get the attention that it's getting now. Particularly because they made it so ridiculously over the top. Like original Baki was okay, but yeah, the new one just gets a new dimension going.
Did you hear about Inuyasha prequel?
Oh, disgusting! No, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because I don't want to mess up that perception that I have of Inuyasha, because that's where I got the Yasha from in Shiroyasha, from Inuyasha. So that's no.
I don't know. I'm willing to give it a chance. I think it might be epic.
Inuyasha was also one of those things that has a soft spot in my heart, because it was just, I don't know.
It was good. I don't know. It was just good.
It was a good show, but like, yeah.
I think you might feel about Inuyasha the way I feel about Berserker.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like,
it has this weird like sense of nostalgia, even if you're watching it for the first time, where you feel like you watched it before, and it like feels very like close. I guess I don't know how to explain it much.
yeah, Mr. Sharingans again. I don't think you watched Inuyasha, but
Nah.
it has like this quality to it. Where it's just good.
Mr. Sharingan, can you name every anime you've watched?
Oh, yeah, probably could, and that's like the sad part. That you shouldn't be able to do that.
No,
Like,
he's asking you to like actually
is-
name it.
Yeah. I'm getting to it. It's so DBZ, the DBGT, Super, and then like just Beyblade count.
I guess we all watched Beyblade
Okay.
as when we were younger.
Yeah. Bakugan.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm putting it down. Bro, I
actually
played the
hated
Bakugan
Bakugan.
game on PS2.
I hated
I actually
Bakugan.
liked it. I hated it at the end parts, like when they started just making everything mechazoids. That was just stupid. And then of course Naruto, Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan. I'm probably forgetting like one, but that's like the most of the list.
Technically, you part of like the the newer generation of anime sort of
Part of the
watchers.
newer
Kinda.
generation. No, because the newer generation like started watching like I think Boku no Hero Academia. That's
No.
what I
So
consider the
like
newer generation.
he's part of that. So like it's like the starter pack. It's like the Naruto, Attack on Titan, Boku no Hero.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll
Yeah.
watch eventually. And
No, I mean you probably
like-
shouldn't. Bad, but anyway.
I actually really like Boku no Hero.
I mean your opinion is wrong, but okay. But
Unpopular opinions time.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's part of like that newer myself and yourself. We like the early 2000s. That's where we started watching anime
Yeah.
from, and man, it was a great time. That was golden age. That shit was actually golden
I think
age.
I googled starter pack yesterday because me and Irfan were me and Mr. Sharingan were looking for
yes.
anime music, and like the starter pack nowadays is different. It's like One Punch, Boku no Hero Academia,
Oh yeah.
and just like newer stuff. Like I think there's a lot of people now who like haven't watched like Bleach, Fairy Tail, Toriko.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what Bleach is, which is so amazing to me, because
Very
people
weird.
are like, now that the new season of Bleach or whatever, the return to the anime world of Bleach is like a thing that's actually happening, And we've been waiting for that for like, what is it now? 6-7 years? And people are like, oh my god, what is Bleach? Why is it such a big deal? And that's like so weird to me. Because that was our starter pack.
I am like mostly going back to watch older things. Like I don't really watch the new stuff. So not
Because
really
like
starter
I
pack.
feel like the newer stuff sort of lost the soul that the older stuff used to have.
Oh, definitely.
Because one of the things that like you don't ever see anymore is like, if you remember in Bleach, at like 15 minutes through the episode, they would have that scene transition thing where it used to be like Bleach part A and then Bleach part B.
Yeah.
It's a really small thing,
Yeah.
but it had that specific detail and it was different in every single episode. Now it's just like, here's another series. Like, go ahead, just consume this, and then here's another one when you're done with that one. Just consume it. Just consume all of it. It's not like
There's like a very basic structure that's used in every single one of the genre. Like all ecchi to me looks the same now. I can't really differentiate them. Like there's always like that one genre of anime where there's like some secret thing in the world where they don't explain it.
and then the protagonist is to find it. Yeah, it's
Like I tried to watch this anime on Netflix. It's called like Children of the Whale or something, and it was so bad. It was so bad. Like they tried to like impose meaning, doesn't work. If I feel like there's no meaning to impose, don't do it. Just don't do it.
like, not to say that they aren't like good shows nowadays, but
They are some.
but like it lacks like look at Toriko. That was basically a DBZ ripoff, because if you remember, like at the end he literally went Super Saiyan 3
Yeah.
with like the long hair and everything. But it had a specific flavor to it, where it was like, oh man, he's gonna hunt food, and then
Yeah.
he eats what, like he eats up and shit. That's like so freaking fresh to me.
A lot of like anime nowadays, the story is like very isolated to the main cast or what it like that. But stuff
Yeah.
like Toriko, Hunter x Hunter, Bleach,
Oh, man.
the world building was amazing. Like there were so many like I think Toriko and Hunter x Hunter have the whole thing about like the outside world.
Yeah.
The entire outside world. And then in Toriko, God was a food, and like they never really explained that. You were just like left to think about it. It's the same thing with like Berserker. I think they just like give points of like this could exist and this could exist, but it's a much larger view on like the world as a whole instead of just like a set of characters. And it's like they go to high school now, they will do things.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Sharingan's like, when you're done with Naruto, please watch Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, however you want to say it. That is an actual masterpiece, and if like it's just so good. Like it's probably, in my opinion, like one of the best shonen anime there is, because of how it's structured. Like the power scaling and all of it is just so good in Hunter x Hunter. But like that's what I'm saying. Like now the plot is simple. Now it's, here's your protagonist. Here is a girl that he doesn't know is in love with him, and here is the villain. They will now do things. That's the plot for most anime nowadays. And if it's ecchi, it's a harem. It has to be a harem ecchi. Like there is one man, here is like 12 different girls. It's done. But like, look at the stupid shit like freezing. Like we still remember that stupid ass show, even though I don't remember the plot. But I can't remember like any of the ecchi shit I watched recently. I don't even think I watch ecchi anymore.
I don't watch ecchi anymore.
I've transitioned like out of the ecchi phase into like, I want slice of life.
I mean, possibly like the last ecchi thing I watched a couple years ago was Ero Manga Sensei. If you can call that ecchi, I don't know. I watched it a while ago, a couple years ago. I didn't even finish it.
That was more degenerate than it was ecchi, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you think about the overarching plot, this was a pretty freaking weird ass series, and yet I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, so we are back here, but it's a different day now. So excuse us if there's like a change in audio, but we did try. Anyway, back to what we were saying, Mr. Shiroyasha.
Okay, so we spoke about like how we started off in anime in general, how all of these things sort of, it was more or less the same for most of us. But I wanted to actually go through like some unpopular opinions, because that ironically is something very popular. But since Mr. Sharingans, Mr. The Eye over here, isn't as cultured as the rest of us.
That's shots right there. That's a mad shots.
Hey, bro, I'm
Bruh.
really just out here trying to throw some shade, bro. I'm really just throwing some shade.
Bruh.
Okay, like let's put it this way: is there any anime that you thought was like too hyped up by the community, but you watched it was actually trash,
Boku no Hero Academia, number 1. Trash.
bro?
Hot trash.
That was
Bro,
such a fast response. That's so fast.
but I mean, personally, I also thought it was pretty trash. Like, we all were of the opinion that it's pretty shit. But I mean,
listen. Let me tell you why you can't say that. Because I have you recorded. Last time we recorded, you said the opposite thing. You were like, I think it's pretty good.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like no, listen. So previously, before I actually watched the rest of it, I was like, okay, it's pretty trash. But like from season 3, season 4ish, it actually it's pretty good. I mean,
No. That's
have
wrong.
you watched it though? Ding dong, your opinion is wrong. But I mean, have you seen season 3 and season 4 where they actually like introduce interesting characters?
I mean, what are interesting characters? Like, interesting by...
No, interesting as in like they have actual character development. Like the dude who's there's an entire guy who like defeats the final villain, or well, not the final villain, the villain for the arc, like by himself. Like without, there's like 3 episodes just without Midoriya in it, and it's the best 3 episodes of that whole damn season of the series.
Just for the sake of this podcast, I'll watch it. I'll watch season
Like
3 and 4.
legit, just watch season like 3 and 4. It gets pretty damn fire. Yeah, it's a cliche it's as cliche as shonen anime can possibly get. But I mean, it's enjoyable at times.
I'll watch it.
Mr. Boomberg, Mr. Sharingans.
Mr. Eyeball Man.
Photon. Yes.
That's a little bit too controversial. I don't think you needed to say that. Listen, I'm not trying to get into politics on this podcast. You don't have to say yes.
What?
It's a very outward opinion right there. I don't know if you can handle
Oh
it.
boy.
But yes, I have not seen My Hero Academia.
No, I mean, like,
so...
is there any anime that you've watched that you thought is just like, why do people actually like this so much? It's so unnecessary.
Not really. I haven't seen much of the new stuff, so I can't really say if any of it's hyped up.
I think you would agree with me in saying that not enough people hate Sakura.
Bruh.
Oh,
Yeah, let's just put it that way.
bro, you can't hate Sakura enough.
That's
You
not even an
can't.
unpopular opinion. That's just like a general fact. That's just facts, bro.
I mean, I think a lot of people
Yeah.
are like, oh yeah, Sakura is useless. But no, Sakura is not just useless. Sakura is just bad in general.
The worst character in the entire series. And this is from a series that has 10 in it. Like, bruh, why?
Bro.
Legit, like back
10 a whole tool.
in the day when 10 actually got more than 10 seconds of screen time, I actually really liked it as like a character concept. It made sense. Like for a ninja world, but like then she just didn't show up for like 700 episodes, and then we were like, 10 is a thing that existed once. Epic times. But yes, she really did just have more substance than one of the main characters, Mr. Sakura himself.
Sakura is an NPC.
Mayhaps an unpopular opinion, but I think Itachi is the main protagonist of Naruto Shippuden.
Bro, straight up.
In a way, I would agree with that.
In a nutshell, he kind of set off the entire damn series. I mean, without... That is quite facts, but I mean, again, I think most people just think that. Most people are just out here like, bruh, Itachi just be that way. That's just Itachi things, to be honest. Like, one unpopular opinion from me is that everybody legit shipped like Sakura and Naruto.
More brain.
Nah. No, I don't like that.
Bro, that's some real ceiling gang shit right there.
That's some stealing gang right there.
That is absolute ceiling
Bruh.
gang. Bro, but yeah. To all those people, that's just small brain plays, bro. That is not epic gamer time. Nobody likes Sakura. Why ship?
A small brain, that's why.
Personally,
Yeah.
I was out here like, bro, just like don't give Sakura like any closure at all. Just let Sasuke just leave the village forever. Just be doing that shit.
Think about it, bro. Okay, so can I say what happens at the end of Shippuden? That's not a spoiler. So like, Sakura gets a little bit roughed up by Sasuke. Let's say that she gets a little bit roughed up, so to speak.
Okay.
Just a little bit roughed up. And then
Is this where you put an R-rated?
No.
No.
She actually got roughed up, bro. Like they actually fucked her.
Yeah, he
Oh, okay.
kind of bro. And then you switch over to Boruto right afterwards, and what's happening? Yeah, she has a kid with him. And what did he do? He abandoned them. Bro, you keep on getting played, bro. What is your problem?
Epic parent goals, bro. Just beat up a
Bruh.
chick.
Sakura is a stump.
Sakura is actually sumping though. Like Sakura biggest sump confirmed, bro. Like even Naruto stopped sumping.
Yeah. Sasuke is like BTS, and then Sakura just every K-pop fan. She would just die for no
Bruh,
reason.
like halfway through the series, even Naruto was like, bro, I ain't fucking with you no more. But Sakura just like chose the sump life.
Yeah.
Sakura was like, I am dedicated to sumping right now. Thus immediately turned into unpopular opinions and then turned into Sakura biggest sump confirmed.
Biggest sump.
A segment every episode of just how bad Sakura
I'm
is.
sure you're gonna say about sumping, but it's just how bad Sakura is.
The first little bit of like Boruto, I thought that Sarada was not Sakura's kid. I thought it was
Oh, no, do not speak of such. Mr. Boomberg has not done such things.
I mean he's seen that. He's seen that. Like he knows who she is.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Yeah.
That chick, what was her name? I think her name was like well, the redhead chick. I think her name was Karin or something. Yeah, Karin. Yeah, Karen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Karen?
And then
Karen? You say Karen? Bro,
no.
Karen.
She's really just a Karen, bro. She's just gonna be out here asking for the store manager. No, but like it's such a stupid premise.
I just want to say
Yeah.
how like bad Karen's like life is actually just being passed around to be
Oh,
put
bro.
on. Just
You think that's
so
bad?
wild.
Like
That's so fucked.
legit.
So
Sasuke was like, I have eternally just dedicated myself to calling them Sasuke and Karen now. No, but Karin gets like so like abused because Sasuke is like, by the way, I know you are in love with me, but like, don't you want to deliver my child that I had with another woman? You're like, oh, Mr. Sasuke, you are doing things again, sir. Yeah, that's why they thought that Sarada was like Karin's kid because of like that picture, and then he
Oh.
explained it, and he's like, "Bro, no, she
I
delivered
just
you."
thought because
It was like, what?
oh, I see. I only watched the first episode of Boruto because it was bad. I just assumed because they look
No, but like
similar.
also, I think they explained it in Naruto, the last movie. Oh no, wait. Or was it Boruto's movie? I don't remember, but I read Boruto's movie. Because it made no sense, because what's worse is he wasn't even there when Sarada was born. So he was like, Karin, bruh, don't you want to deliver my child? And then that happened. So that's a thing.
Also, on a somewhat related note, so last time, like if you go earlier into this podcast, you'll hear me say something like around the lines of Devilman Crybaby anime written badly. I finished it yesterday. It is so good. It's so good. The ending is so good. It's so well written. How
Yo,
did they
bro,
do
you
that?
just went through an entire segment of unpopular opinion to popular opinion right now.
Bro, the first 7 episodes and the last 3 episodes are like two
It's
different
brilliant.
anime, but it's so well. It conveys the last scene so absolutely perfectly. It's amazing. Right now, it's up there with like Berserker for me. It's so well written.
That's legit why I was like, I really love Devilman Crybaby, and I even have like the tattoo like of Akira Fudo like crying from that series because I thought it was so freaking well
Yeah,
done as a reimagining. I didn't okay. Please watch Devilman Crybaby.
It is on the list.
But bruh,
Listen, the list's getting too long. We just gotta do it.
Bruh, I can't. I'm way too close to finishing Shippuden.
it's only 10 episodes. It's 10 episodes. Also, you will observe a better running animation than Naruto's running animation.
Oh my god, no. The running animation is what is that? I could never tell whether
okay.
they were grabbing air or
Bro,
like
I could never
using
tell
their
if they were
hands.
moving in the first place. It's so-
Like running that way would just make it harder for you.
It'll take a bit of a while to get used to the art style. I wasn't much of a fan of it at the start, but it's like such a departure from the original. But then again, the original is like 80s, so fair enough.
Oh, I downloaded Akira today. I'm gonna watch it tonight. So I'll probably have something to say about it
Bruh.
next time we record.
Okay, honestly, here's an unpopular opinion. Everybody says Akira is like that movie that like did everything. Okay, fair enough. It has enough cultural significance, but honestly, it's kind of a boring movie, to be perfectly fair. Like if I was a like non-anime fan and you showed me Akira, I don't think I would sit through it, to be honest with you. But like as an anime fan, I sat through it and appreciated it.
This was prior to modern anime culture. This was something else. This was storytellers and animators coming together, just making something so well. It's just so good. The point of it was like the movies that came out at that point where like Japan was doing really good, like the economy was really good, so they had the money. It wasn't
Yeah.
to make anime, it was just for the sake of storytelling. It wasn't made for like the modern anime
No, but,
watcher,
like-
I guess. So I guess like if you expect like anime titties and like the strong protagonist, he do the thing and wow, hero guy, oh yeah, then it's not for you, obviously.
Like what I'm saying is, yeah, it definitely had more than enough cultural significance for like the anime society as in general. But if like they market it as like if you show a normie this is what like started all of it, and I'm like I don't think so, because like as anime watchers, like me and you, like we'll watch, let's just say a Ghibli movie, and
Yeah.
since we know like the effort and like what goes into making this movie, like appreciating the art and stuff and just like experiencing it as a form of art, then yeah, definitely friggin' like for us it's a masterpiece. But for normie, it's really not. It's barely even a good movie for like a normie, because it's just that kind of vibe though.
But I even think that as like if you showed someone Akira and was like this was made 80s, the like they're so the frame rate, bro, it's so well produced. Even if you don't appreciate the story or something, it's just so
Yeah, no,
well
it is.
produced.
In all honesty, like yeah, no, in all honesty, like 80s animation way better than modern animation, like way better, because
I mean, it's not even that. Like 80s animation, it was okay for its time. But Akira specifically, they had what seven
Yeah,
animation
pretty
companies
much.
working on it. They spent more than any other and like animated movie. It has more frames than it has the most frames. I think it has more than Ghibli. It's like Akira specifically, it did so much because then it got ported to the West, and then the West was like,
Epic times. Epic times. They be making things in Japan. No, but like if you look at like 80s and 70s anime in general, like I enjoy older animation because like nowadays everything is created, well, obviously digitally, but like things like Akira and stuff, those are like manually created like animations, and they're just so smooth and they have such a freaking texture to them that modern anime they just don't. Like as much as I love like the new stuff like your Boku no Hero or whatever, it just doesn't have that same impact.
okay, like take for example, Tower of God. Tower of God is like badly animated. Let's say let's be nice. Say it's badly animated, which is giving it too much credit,
Yeah.
but that's okay. But just the I think a lot of anime today doesn't have the same what do you say? What do you say? Like the same production value. It's much less about telling a story, and it's more about I don't say pandering, but like pandering to your specific audience of like weebs who want to see like anime girls and
Like, there's a lot of people, again, this is another unpopular opinion, but I prefer how the anime community was before. Because honestly, when we watched anime, like, it wasn't something that everyone knew about. Like, Netflix wasn't a thing. Nobody knew what anime was. Like,
Netflix was definitely a thing, but I don't think anime was on Netflix. But
when
Netflix
we
was
were like
definitely
in
a
high
thing.
school, I don't think Netflix was a thing. Was it?
Was it not?
Bruh, please, Mr. Boomberg or Mr. Sharingans, just check like when Netflix was like actually released for use.
I mean, I don't know when it went online, but it's been around for like a while. I'm pretty sure it used to be like Blockbuster when it started. It used to like you could like go buy movies from Netflix.
Okay, but either way, like back in the day, that it wasn't a thing that people knew about, like anime in general, and as a result, things were more, they had more taste to them. Now people just make anime for the sake of consumption. Like, you need to like make it and make it and make it and make it because it's like such a saturated market that you don't have time for like these passion projects. Let's put it as passion projects. But once in a while, something does come out that's reminiscent of that time. And if you guys have time, watch Made in Abyss. It's one of those things that's it's okay. It's more Ghibli stylish in terms of like stylization, but it's good. And it reminds me of that time when like Ghibli was like the shit, and everything was animated by like these people that were like really good at what they did, and not by a machine, basically. So I prefer back in the day when anime was actually the nerd's hobby. Not now, where if you watch anime, you're like cool. You're one of the cool kids.
But like specifically 80s stuff, they were just like written as they weren't written like as anime. They were written as movies. They were written as stories, and then they were ported. And so like some of it gets really dark, which is like take what is it called? Danganronpa. Danganronpa had so much blood that they had to change the color for them to put it on TV. It didn't seem like that didn't make sense to me. Like why you could you just watering down the entire.
That's the
genre
funny
of
thing. Like,
anime.
you look at Danganronpa when everything was like different colors and shit for like censorship and all of that. But like back in the day, there's this 80s or 90s. I'm not sure, but it's called Genocyber. And every
I've seen
second scene,
Genocyber.
you've seen it, and every second scene is just a bubblegum mess of
yeah.
intestines and like blood and brains.
Yeah.
There's literally an entire scene where that the chick, I think it's a girl who's in that suit, just like blows someone up, and there's just like pieces of everything everywhere, and that shit wasn't censored. I think there was even swearing, and like I think they showed like it was just so much better. I don't know, they just had more flavor in like that time. And I think like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give Mr. Sharingan's like my hard drive with all of like the 80s and 90s. It's gonna take a while,
I will steal it.
but
I'm gonna steal it.
here's a list, bruh. Remember when we had a to watch list?
I never had one. I just like I don't know if you remember, but if I wanted to watch like 5 things, I would watch it all at the same time. I would just do it.
But like it was so funny to me that like I used to just find this like obscure ass like gif on Instagram, or like not even Instagram, on like what the fuck did we even use, like BBM, and then I'd be like, bruh, what anime series is this even from? And then you'd search it and you'd be like, oh man, I have to watch this. But currently I'm watching 6 other things. Epically, we'll keep it for the next batch. That is my to watch list in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But yeah, the man's must research. But don't worry, like if you guys think that now
Yeah.
Mr. Sharingans is a bit quiet, in the next like episode we'll be going over gaming and stuff. Yeah.
I'm so loud, bro. I'm
Yeah.
the loudest person. Yeah, louder than Craig.
Also, like just to like reiterate, this isn't like an anime podcast. So don't expect that.
We just talk about stuff that we like, basically. Just really stupid stuff. But it just so happened that the first episode was anime themed. But Mr. Sharingan's, he'll have his time to shine in the gaming world.
And also, if you watch anime, don't watch this podcast. Get out right now. I don't want to see you
Disgusting weebs.
Can't believe this. I'd never watch anime.
Talk to us, Chads, bro. You're all a bunch of fucking sumps, though. Out here sumping for Sakura and Karen. Get a life, bro.
Bro.
Get a life. Stop watching Chinese cartoons, bro. Go outside.
Maybe meet someone, bro. Just go out into the real world and get the virus, bro. Just straight up. The world does not need your fault. Please leave our podcast immediately.
Yes, just do that right now. Go knock on other people's doors and say, hello, I'm here to give you virus. And on that note, we shall now leave.
We will now be dumping everybody. Just be like, yes, I am out now. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it quits. And yeah, depending on how well the podcast does, if we get 69 likes or 69 streams, episode 2 confirmed.
Who knows? Bro, we can't have one less, 2 more. It won't happen. It has to be 69.
It needs to be 69 specifically. If it's one more, we will not be doing episode 2. But yeah, again, this is the three of us, the Not 100% Degenerates Podcast. Myself, Shiroyasha.
You know me, Raul Singh of the Uchiha clan. Goodbye.
Yes. I am all the genjutsus. Yes. I would like to leave with like one message though, very important. Don't stay safe. Don't wash your hands. Slap people across the face, and just give hugs right now. That it's a great time to do that. And also cough a lot. Please cough a lot on people.
Just walk up to them and just like, just give them a good old sneeze.
Sneezing is the new high five. And yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. It has been us, the Backstreet Boys. Come back for our next concert. Goodbye.